The 2025 Longines Breeders' Cup Turf stands as the pinnacle of international turf racing. A $5 million showdown run over 1.5 miles on the world-famous Del Mar course where turf meets the surf. This dynamic sets the stage for a thrilling clash between battle-hardened veterans like Rebels Romance and Gold Phoenix and rising European stars such as Delacroix, Calandagan, and the Triple Oaks heroine Minnie Hauk. Historically, European powerhouses, particularly those from Godolphin and Coolmore, have thrived here. Yet American contenders continue to carve out their own fairy tale breakthroughs. So who has the weapons to conquer the surf? Let's break down the top 15 contenders for the 2025 Breeders' Cup Turf. Number 15, we begin with Goliath, a name that still resonates loudly from his shocking triumph in the 2024 King George VI and Queen Elizabeth Stakes at Ascot, one of Europe's crown jewel races. That sensational 25-1 upset against a stacked field, which included the proven stayer Rebels Romance, stamped him as a genuine international force over the classic 1-mile 4-furlong distance, the very trip of the Breeders' Cup Turf. By the German staying powerhouse Adlerflug, and out of the Chammerdal mare Gouache, Goliath boasts a pedigree overflowing with stamina, resilience, and class. The exact ingredients required for a grueling championship race like the Breeders' Cup Turf. As a gelding, Goliath was ineligible for the Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe, a twist of fate that streamlined his campaign toward lucrative global turf prizes, including the Breeders' Cup. Yet, 2025 has told a far different story for this enigmatic runner. His performances this season have been deeply inconsistent, highlighted by a disappointing 9th in the FWD QEII Cup in Hong Kong and an uncompetitive last-place finish in the Grand Prix de Saint Cloud G1, where he was trounced by Calandagan. Those poor showings raise major questions about his health, confidence, or simple decline in ability. Still, racing is filled with redemption arcs, and Goliath's King George heroics remain proof of his devastating ceiling when everything clicks. Bettors and fans alike will view him as a high-risk, high-reward contender. If he rediscovers his 2024 magic, he could surprise the field again. But on recent evidence, he enters the Breeders' Cup Turf as one of the most vulnerable names in the lineup. Sitting at number 14, we turn to Wimbledon Hawkeye, a classy and durable 3-year-old colt who embodies the word consistency but continues to search for that elusive Group 1 breakthrough. This British-bred contender carries a fascinating pedigree, being by Cameco, a proven Group 1 winning miler with speed to spare, out of Ava Maria, a mare by the legendary See the Stars, whose influence ensures deep reserves of stamina. That blend of speed and staying power has shaped Wimbledon Hawkeye into a versatile runner who competes admirably across distances from 1 mile to 1.5 miles. His resume is full of near misses at the highest level, underscoring both his reliability and his frustrating inability to land the big one. In 2025, he produced a string of strong efforts, runner-up in the Princess of Wales Stakes G2 at Newmarket, another runner-up in the Gordon Stakes G3 at Goodwood, and a gallant 4th in the King Edward VII Stakes at Royal Ascot. His crowning moment came in August when he finally secured a victory in the Nashville Derby Invitational G3 at Kentucky Downs, a performance that showcased his adaptability on North American turf. Previously, his juvenile campaign included placings in the Futurity Trophy and wins like the Royal Lodge Stakes, proving his early class foundation. While his profile lacks a G1 strike, his steady form suggests he could place spoiler in the Breeders' Cup Turf, particularly if the leaders go too fast early and the race sets up for a grinding closer. Connections will hope his iron consistency translates into a career-defining performance on racing's biggest stage. At number 13, we highlight the rising force of Aidan, a low-mileage 3-year-old gelding whose rapid ascent through the ranks makes him one of the most exciting dark horses targeting the 2025 Breeders' Cup Turf. Trained by the respected Ralph Beckett, Aidan has compiled an impressive career record of 6 starts with 5 victories, giving him a striking 83% win rate overall, including a 75% win rate on flat turf. That rare consistency underscores both his quality and his upward trajectory, marking him as a colt still far from reaching his ceiling. His 2025 season has been nothing short of eye-catching. After taking a listed event at Goodwood with authority, Aidan delivered his signature performance at Royal Ascot, capturing the King Edward VII Stakes. That victory not only showcased his stamina but also earned him a standout Racing Post rating of 115, cementing his credibility as a serious player among Europe's staying division. His connections have described him as quirky but determined, a characteristic that could actually serve him well at Del Mar, where tactical adaptability is crucial. Unlike many one-dimensional stayers, Aidan has shown the ability to adjust mid-race, finding ways to win despite challenges. As a gelding, his career trajectory will likely be campaign-driven, rather than stallion-focused, meaning connections will aim boldly for international prizes. While relatively untested against the very top level, his unbeaten streak in 5 straight races earlier in the season confirms his raw ability. For bettors, Aidan represents a fascinating up-and-coming European wildcard, a horse who could make giant strides on racing's biggest stage and announce himself as a future powerhouse. At number 12, we arrive at Rashabar, a colt who perfectly illustrates the fine line between consistent excellence and unfulfilled potential. This Irish-bred 3-year-old, by the versatile sire Holy Roman Emperor, and out of Amazonka, a mare by Camelot, has an intriguing pedigree that blends mile speed with proven middle-distance stamina. His overall profile paints the picture of a horse who constantly delivers honest efforts. 10 turf starts with 1 victory, 6 seconds, and a third, a remarkable placing rate of 80%. Yet for all that dependability, his lone win leaves him with a frustratingly low 10% strike rate, sparking whispers of seconditis among handicappers. In 2025, Rashabar has held his own in top-level company. He ran 4th in the Irish 2000 Guineas and produced another admirable 4th in the St. James's Palace Stakes at Royal Ascot, demonstrating his ability to compete with the cream of Europe's 3-year-old crop. Stretching out beyond a mile, he handled 10 furlongs well, finishing 2nd in a French Group 2, suggesting stamina will not be a barrier to the Breeders' Cup Turf's 12-furlong distance. His best RPR of 112 reflects real quality, but what continues to elude him is that final turn of foot, the decisive burst required to topple elite rivals in the stretch. At Del Mar, where tactical positioning and acceleration are critical, Rashabar must finally shed his reputation as a gallant runner-up if he wants to make a serious impact. His connections will hope that the extra ground and firmer American turf unlock his winning instincts. Cracking into the top 11, we meet Old Crazy Bone, one of the most compelling underdog stories leading into the 2025 Breeders' Cup Turf. This 5-year-old gelding, dark bay in color, is by the legendary Go-Sapper, a stallion renowned for toughness and versatility, out of Southern Gem, a mare by Smart Strike, whose bloodlines ooze class and durability. For much of his career, Old Crazy Bone was a hard-knocking allowance runner, recording modest results across his 19 career starts. But everything changed in the summer of 2025 when trainer Michael J. Maker, a master at transforming claimers into stakes winners, scooped him up for $100,000. What followed was nothing short of sensational. Barely 10 weeks later, Old Crazy Bone stunned the racing world by winning the $2.5 million Kentucky Turf Cup Invitational at Kentucky Downs, a rich 12-furlong test that offered a coveted win-and-you're-in berth to the Breeders' Cup Turf. He didn't just win. He did so emphatically, by 3 3/4 lengths, proving conclusively that the marathon trip is well within his wheelhouse. That breakthrough transformed him from a journeyman claimer into a Grade 2 champion overnight. His lifetime stats remain modest, just 4 wins from 19 starts, 21%, but his current form is the best of his life. The key question now is whether he can bridge the class gap against proven Group 1 European raiders. If he carries forward his newfound confidence and stamina, Old Crazy Bone has the potential to deliver one of the most heartwarming Breeders' Cup stories of recent years. Breaking into the coveted top 10, we spotlight Ethical Diamond, one of the most intriguing outsiders in the 2025 Breeders' Cup Turf. This 5-year-old gelding boasts an unconventional path to flat racing's biggest stage, hailing from the dual-purpose yard of Willie Mullins, Ireland's national hunt maestro turned global flat challenger, by Autad, a proven Group 1 miler, and out of Pearl Diamond, a mare by the German influence Arion. Ethical Diamond's pedigree reflects a blend of turn of foot and hardiness. His resume is split between disciplines, 7 starts over hurdles and 7 starts on the flat, a remarkable dual-code profile rarely seen among turf contenders. On the level, he has performed with striking effectiveness, 3 wins, 1 second, and 1/3 from 7 flat starts, a win percentage of 43%. Though still relatively inexperienced in Group 1 company, he has already achieved a best RPR of 117, stamping him as capable of holding his own against specialists. What sets Ethical Diamond apart is his conditioning honed by Mullen's demanding jumps training regime, which has instilled deep stamina reserves and unmatched physical toughness. That background may prove a powerful equalizer at Del Mar's 12-furlong test, where relentless staying power often trumps raw acceleration. While skeptics may question whether his lack of flat G1 seasoning will be exposed against polished internationals, his camp believes that his unique preparation offers him an edge in endurance. Ethical Diamond enters the turf as a dark horse with massive upside, the kind of horse who could be overlooked in the betting, but thrive when the race turns into a war of attrition. At number 9, we feature the electrifying Ombudsman, a 4-year-old colt whose profile sparks both awe and skepticism as he prepares for the 2025 Breeders' Cup Turf. Sired by Knight of Thunder, one of Europe's most reliable sources of high-class milers and out of the Dancily Mare Syndicate, Ombudsman carries a pedigree laced with brilliance at 8-10 furlongs. His race record is sparkling: 8 career starts, 6 victories, and 2 seconds, which translates to an impressive 75% win rate and an unblemished 100% in-the-money record. What immediately jumps off the page are his elite speed ratings, headlined by a towering best RPR of 131, the single highest among any contender, pointing to Del Mar. That figure positions him not just as competitive, but as one of the fastest turf horses in the world. His resume features multiple Group 1 triumphs at the 10-furlong distance, including a commanding win in the Prince of Wales Stakes at Royal Ascot, followed by another top-level success in the Juddmonte International at York. In the Juddmonte, he famously turned the tables on his fierce rival Delacroix, who had narrowly beaten him in the Eclipse Stakes earlier in the summer. However, this brilliance at 10 furlongs underpins the lingering question: can Ombudsman stretch that speed across the unforgiving 12 furlongs of the Breeders' Cup Turf? While his bloodlines suggest some stamina influence, his entire career has been defined by sharp acceleration at intermediate trips, not the grinding endurance required for a mile and a half. For handicappers, he represents both a dream and a dilemma, unquestionably the fastest horse in the field, but perhaps not the one best suited to the distance. At number 8, we arrive at World Beater, the breakout star of the American 3-year-old turf division, and a colt whose name increasingly fits his profile. By Oscar Performance, the young stallion who has already stamped his mark on the American turf scene, and out of Davenant, a mare by the gritty stamina source Blame, World Beater's pedigree combines raw speed with proven staying potential. His juvenile season was modest, winless in 2 dirt starts, but the switch to grass in 2025 unlocked a transformation that turned him into a millionaire earner. This year, he has compiled 4 wins and 2 seconds from 7 turf races, pushing his career earnings past $1.12 million. His signature victory came in the $750,000 Saratoga Derby Invitational in August, where he produced a devastating late rally to outfinish his rivals over 1 3/16 miles, proving his ability to handle high-class competition at a demanding trip. He followed that success with a confident score in the Old Dominion Derby G3, confirming his upward trajectory and cementing his status as the leading American sophomore turf horse. With tactical speed and an explosive turn of foot, World Beater brings a dimension that could be particularly valuable on the tight turns and shorter stretch of Del Mar. However, the looming challenge is distance. His G1 success has come at just under 10 furlongs, leaving open the question of whether he can sustain that brilliance at the full 12-furlong test of the Breeders' Cup Turf against older, battle-hardened Europeans. At number 7, we spotlight the admirable Farbridge, a 5-year-old who has become one of the most dependable fixtures on the American turf circuit. His pedigree screams stamina. By English Channel, the 2007 Breeders' Cup Turf hero and one of the premier sources of endurance on grass. And out of Fit Pitcher, a mare by Kitten's Joy, another titan of U.S. turf breeding. That genetic foundation has translated into a long, productive career of 19 starts and over $2.38 million in earnings. Farbridge's resume includes dual Grade 1 victories, first in the Belmont Derby Invitational in 2023 and later in the Joe Hirsch Turf Classic in 2024, stamping him as a proven commodity at the top level. Under the guidance of trainer Miguel Clement, in 2025, he has enjoyed a career-best campaign, winning the Pan American Stakes, the Man o' War Stakes, and the Bowling Green Stakes over distances ranging from 1/3/8 miles to 1/2 miles. While his uncharacteristic sixth-place finish in the Sword Dancer Stakes G1 raised eyebrows, it is viewed as an outlier rather than a regression. His consistency over the years and his proven ability to see out the full 12 furlongs provide confidence that he will bring his A-game to Del Mar. Unlike some flashier contenders, Farbridge doesn't rely on dazzling acceleration, but instead on a grinding, relentless stamina style that wears down opposition. For bettors, he offers a reliable, battle-tested option, the kind of horse almost guaranteed to run his race and secure a strong placing even if victory proves elusive. Number 6, El Cordobés, one of the most exciting European sophomores targeting the American turf circuit. Having already proven his quality and stamina with a breakthrough G1 victory on U.S. soil. The 4-year-old gelding, trained by Charlie Appleby for Godolphin, boasts a truly blue-chip pedigree by the unbeaten Frankel out of Bold Lass, a mare by the legendary See the Stars. This bloodline is the perfect blend of brilliance and staying power, ensuring his effectiveness at 12 furlongs. His rise accelerated in 2025, beginning with competitive efforts in Dubai before blossoming into a top-class campaign. With 4 wins from 10 starts, 40% win rate. His career-defining moment came in August when he stormed home to win the Resorts World Casino Sword Dancer Stakes, G1, at Saratoga over 1.5 miles, defeating a battle-hardened field that included former winner Farbridge. That performance was tactically brilliant, saving ground before producing a decisive late burst, proving not only his stamina, but also his adaptability to American tracks. With Godolphin's international travel success and Appleby's proven Breeders' Cup formula, El Cordobés brings pedigree, class, and proven transatlantic form to the turf. Number 5, Gold Phoenix stands as the battle-tested stalwart of the American turf division, a 7-year-old gelding whose deep resume and familiarity with California racing make him a perennial danger. Sired by Bellardo, out of Magnifica by Mizzen Mast, he embodies durability and toughness, with 23 career starts yielding 8 wins and over $1.5 million in earnings, 31% win rate. He first announced himself at the top level by winning the 2023 Frank E. Kilroe Mile and followed with the 2024 Charlie Whittingham Stakes. Crucially, Gold Phoenix is a proven specialist over the California circuit, where his trainer Phil D'Amato has repeatedly emphasized Del Mar as the gelding's favorite track. His resume includes strong showings in the Del Mar Handicap and multiple graded victories at Santa Anita, underscoring his adaptability to firm ground and tighter configurations. This will mark his 3rd straight Breeders' Cup turf appearance, and while his best form is often found over shorter trips, his home court advantage at Del Mar provides a unique edge over elite European shippers encountering the track for the first time. Number 4, Minnie Hauk, standout 3-year-old filly of Europe in 2025. A rising star with a classic resume and the physical profile to shine at Del Mar. Trained by Aidan O'Brien, she carries the hallmark Coolmore pedigree, by Frankel out of the Dancili mare Multilingual. Her record is sparkling 6 starts, 5 wins, 1 second, 83% win rate, and her progression has been relentless. This season, she stamped herself among the elite by completing a remarkable Oaks treble. The Epsom Oaks, the Irish Oaks, and the Yorkshire Oaks, all over 1.5 miles. O'Brien has been effusive about her physique, describing her as compact and powerful, almost with a miler's build. Yet her stamina has already been proven beyond doubt. Importantly, the Ballydoyle camp confirmed she was being pointed toward the Breeders' Cup turf rather than the Arc, citing her preference for firm ground. At Del Mar, she will not only find her ideal surface, but also benefit from a generous weight allowance against older males, making her a tactical and highly dangerous rival. Minnie Hauk arrives as the most exciting filly to contest this race in years. Number 3, Calandagan has emerged as Europe's leading weight for age stayer in 2025, establishing himself as the most reliable 12-furlong performer of the season. Trained in France by Francis Henry Graffard, the 4-year-old gelding is by Gleneagles out of Calandagan, a mare by Sindar, ensuring a potent mix of class and stamina. His overall record is testament to consistency. 12 starts, 6 wins, 5 seconds, never out of the top 2. This year marked his decisive G1 breakthrough, In June, he dominated the Grand Prix de St. Cloud and followed up with a resounding success in the King George VI and Queen Elizabeth Stakes at Ascot, defeating the likes of Calpana and Rebels Romance with authority. That victory earned him a career-best RPR of 127. Unlike many rivals, his gelding status ensures a laser-focused campaign aimed at the Breeders' Cup turf rather than the Arc. With proven excellence over the exact 1.5 mile trip, Calandagan brings the most solid, battle-tested European staying credentials into Del Mar. Number 2. Delacroix, a colt whose pedigree alone demands attention, bred in Ireland and trained by... Yet stamina remains the lingering question. His sole unplaced finish came in the Epsom Derby over 150 miles. Still, his maternal speed influence from Tepin may prove an asset at Del Mar. Weirdly at number 1, Rebels Romance enters Del Mar as the reigning monarch of international turf racing, aiming for a historic third Breeders' Cup turf crown. Now 7, the Godolphin-trained gelding by Dubawi out of Mini Dress by Street Cry has built one of the most remarkable resumes in the modern era. 14 wins from 20 starts, 70% win rate, and lifetime earnings of more than £9.9 million. A consummate globetrotter, Rebels Romance has captured elite races across multiple continents, thriving on versatility, adaptability, and tactical brilliance. In 2025, he signaled his readiness for another Breeders' Cup campaign by decisively winning the Joe Hirsch Turf Classic G1 at Belmont, reaffirming his dominance over 12 furlongs. His RPR peak of 124 may not quite match the raw speed figures of some rivals, but his unparalleled ability to travel, handle firm U.S. conditions, and execute winning strategies make him the most trustworthy competitor in the lineup. With experience, class, and championship credentials on his side, Rebels Romance stands as the ultimate benchmark. Every other runner in the turf must rise to his level. That wraps up our deep dive into the 2025 Breeders' Cup Turf Contenders. With Rebels Romance standing out as the safest pick, Calandagan bringing elite European stamina, and Delacroix offering raw speed suited to Del Mar, this year's clash is shaping up to be unforgettable. And don't forget, Minnie Hauk could very well emerge as the wildcard star of the turf. Who do you think takes the crown this year? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like and subscribe for more top-tier racing analysis. Thanks for watching.